Hello and welcome to another video for Minus Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at the 1987 release by Dapol from their Doctor Who series of action figures and playsets. And these were all released for the 25th anniversary of Doctor Who, which is when Dapol was granted the license, and their first batch of figures was released for the 25th anniversary. And they did release a variety of different figures, from the characters through to the villains and the monsters. They produced quite a few different Daleks, and this particular one we're looking at today is of the white Imperial Dalek, and this is the card that it comes on. So at the very top it's got Doctor Who, and you've got the logo, the TARDIS in the bubble just here, which was all part of the 1980s title sequence opening, from Sylvester McCoy's Doctor. Okay, so it says Dalek features pullback action, sucker arm end, and movable gun and eyepiece. And you've got an image of the white Imperial Dalek, and at the bottom there, if I just move that forward, it says W8, which is the part number for this particular one. You've got the barcode and you've got the Dapol logo. And obviously you've got the Dalek in the background, which we come back to that in a moment. But before we do that, I just want to turn the card around and let's have a look at what we got on the back. So again, you've got the Doctor Who, the TARDIS in the bubble from the title sequence. It says Doctor Who from Dapol. It says other items available, you can collect them all. So you've got Ace, which is W14, item number. Doctor, who is W1. Melanie, W2. Dalek, W8, which is what this one is. The Tetrap, which is W3. The Cyberman with Mark 5, which is W9. Davros, which is W15. The TARDIS police box, which was W5, and that was available separately. And then you had the 25th anniversary set, which contains a TARDIS and five-sided console, Dalek in grey coat, and Melanie in pink, and plus K9. It contains small parts unsuitable for children under 36 months. And you've got the BBC 1987, licensed by BBC Enterprises Limited. And the Tetrap is BBC Pippin Jane Baker and Dapol, Winsford, Cheshire. Okay, so that is the back of the card. Let's just turn the card round and have a look at the Dalek itself. Now, this particular one, there is some damage on the bottom of the bubble. In actual fact, I might be able to get that out of there. Yeah, a little bit of jiggery pokery, and we have actually got the Dalek out. So let's have a look at the Dalek while it's out of the container. Then we can have a really good look at this one. Actually, I didn't know that was damaged that far where it could come out, but here we go. So we have here the white Imperial Dalek. Now let's just get some sizes before anything else. So we are looking at height wise from bottom to top of 9.5 centimeters, if you can just see that. Now if we measure from the bottom of the dome, the widest point, you're looking at 6.5 centimeters. But if we measure from the back of the Dalek to the end of the sucker stick, or from this side to the end of the sucker stick, you're looking at 8 centimeters. And if you measure across this way, you're looking at 4.5 centimeters. Now, just notice on the bottom here, some of these Daleks, depending on which ones you got, this one's actually got Dapol printed on the back, UK Dapol printed on the back, whereas one of the other ones that I've got, which was from my collection, which is the black Dalek with the silver dome, that doesn't have it printed on the back. So some of them did, some of them didn't, which is I don't quite know why they did that. But anyway, back to this one. So this is the white plastic. In fact, it's all plastic. The only metal part on this is the 2 screws at the bottom. So it's a white plastic with the gold spheres and the slats. Gold eye stick and gold sucker arm and gold gun. Okay, so we have movement of the head. So the head moves from side to side. The eye stick moves up and down. The sucker arm moves around. It's on a ball joint, so it moves around in a circle, as you can see. And the same with the gun. It is on a ball joint, so it does go around in a circle, so you can position it up, down, left or right. And the same with the plunger. Now the functionalities of this particular Dalek, they all have this wheel at the front where you can turn the wheel to position a Dalek and how you want it to move. So if you keep it straight, the Dalek's going to move straight forward. So you pull back and go. So you pull them back, and away you go. Now, unfortunately, they don't seem to work on the card that we're on here at the moment. So, but you can hear them. It's moving a little bit on the card, but you can hear the wheels go. So they need to be on maybe a lino surface or a tabletop or something like that for them to actually work. Remember, these were 1980s, so technology has moved on somewhat since then. And it's very different these days on how things work. But if you angled the steering mechanism, when you pulled it backwards and let it go, the Dalek would go off in a direction that the front wheel was steered in. So that is the main functionalities of these Daleks. I mean, they're nice looking models, and at the time, 1987, these were the only the first production Daleks, or Doctor Who figures come to that were produced since the 1970s, the Palitoy and the Dennis Fisher. Other than that, there was no other action figures licensed to be produced. So Dapol was granted the license for the 25th anniversary. Now, Dapol originally was a model train manufacturer. So Doctor Who action figures adding to their lines was something very new. And they did produce the first run in 87 for the 1988 25th anniversary. They've done a second batch in 1989, I think it was. And then they were due to do a third batch in 1991, but unfortunately they had a fire in their factory and they lost all of the molds and so on. So they didn't actually do the Series 3 until 1996. And then I think they've done some later box sets around about 2002, 2003, just before the license expired and the new TV series began, and the license obviously then went over to Character Options. Anyway, so that's just a brief history on Dapol. But how well did these do? Well, yes, they done tremendously well, bearing in mind that we was all, in 1987, we was crying out for Doctor Who merchandise. Everybody who was into Doctor Who or was a fan of the show wanted to buy some merchandise, figures, play sets, what have you. And so when these were produced, everyone was trying to find them. The downside was they wasn't very well or easily available. So they were only available from specialist stores, exhibition centres and so on, which was a shame really, because had they been available in mainstream stores, they would have, I'm sure they would have just sold out. But unfortunately, the way they were marketed, I don't think was the right way, or certainly not at the time, and I certainly think they underestimated the demand of Doctor Who merchandise back in 1987. I mean, bear in mind, in 1987 there was no internet. You couldn't order online. You could do mail order, but you had to send away for a mail order catalogue, and then you had to mark down on a piece of paper what you wanted, and then send a check or postal order off to the manufacturers, and then they would post them to you. And you receive them maybe 28 days later. I mean, that was the type of mail order that was available back in the 80s. So not readily available, not like things are today where you can order one day and have it the next day. It just didn't work that way back then. And there was obviously, I'll say, no internet. You couldn't re-watch your favourite TV programmes unless you actually had a video recorder. So in 1987, VHS video recorders were around. And I think the BBC might have just been beginning to release the video cassette. So that you were just being able to buy your episodes, your early episodes, and watch them over again. So, but it was a time, a very I won't say old-fashioned time, but it was a time without the internet, which has obviously made things so much easier these days. Availability so much easier these days. Okay, so trying to find these particular items after everything I've said is quite difficult, especially in this mint condition. I say mint condition, this particular one isn't, because of the damage to the bottom of the bubble, which has enabled me to remove it from the card. However, I will put it back in, and I will try and repair the bottom of the bubble before it's made available for sale. Which will be done as soon as we finish shooting this video. But finding these are very difficult. But as usual, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a few, which are currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Doctor Who items, and many other vintage toys, games, and collectibles. Come to that, there's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we are uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive you're not going to want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be the item you've been looking for. And we have got some amazing ultra rare vintage items that we are doing our utmost to get ready to be able to shoot videos for and upload as soon as possible. So stay tuned, keep watching, because there's some absolutely awesome stuff coming up soon. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed this very short video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.